Chiwetel, it's lovely to see you for a film which obviously is a huge part of my childhood. I think I was 9 when the original came out.
Right.
You were in your teens, right?
I was 17, yeah.
So what kind of feelings does the original conjure up for you?
I don't know. I'm hoping it's a kind of similar feeling, because I was just awed by it. And I always thought of myself, later on as being younger when I saw the film, because I think it just made me feel that way, like it just made me feel like a child because of the emotion of it, really, and the spectacle of it, and just how rich the characters were, and the vibrancy of it, and just all of it, And I hadn't actually seen anything really like it, before. So it was really important, in my family, and just what it meant in my family, just to have any content, that was of this kind of scale, that was set in Africa, that just was, because there wasn't any back then. I mean, very little back then, not much now, of large scale productions that are set in Africa, the music, the sounds, all lebo, and that kind of, right from the beginning, that kind of, the very sort of, you could just identify the kind of, African nature of what was going on. And so it was an exciting event in my family, so so for all sorts of reasons, as well as it being just brilliant,
Of course.
Important.
I know a lot of times when you're recording voice stuff, you're in the studio completely by yourself. You did get to be in the studio with Donald though a bit, didn't you?
Yeah,
right?
and Florence. Yeah.
Yeah. So did he help you at all with the singing, or were you already prepared for that?
He didn't help me with the singing, actually. I didn't think to ask him, but maybe I should have. That would have been a good.
You did a good job. I'm not saying that you didn't do a good job.
Okay. But no, I was, there was sort of various people that were those two, and then I do some of mine, and then with the singing, it was myself and Hans, mostly Hans Zimmer, and which was great,
Which is incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
also
amazing.
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one to tick off the bucket list.
Yeah. At Abbey Road as well.
Oh
so,
my God.
Yeah, it was great.
Just got better and better.
Yeah, it's true.
This job. Have you got any nieces and nephews at all?
I do have nieces and nephews.
So what kind of uncle are you? Because, I mean, I spoil my nephew to pieces.
Yeah.
I assume that you are the furthest from Scar that you could possibly be.
I am. I would hope so, yes.
You do spoil them. You're the
Yes, yeah.
And what do you see as your role in the huge circle of life? I'm not talking the food chain, but in the circle of life that is our journey through life.
I don't know. I think that
It's a deep question.
That is a deep question. I think that a brief chronicler of our time is what I think is the role of a storyteller, and that is as quoted by Shakespeare, and I think that quote has always meant a lot to me, and I feel like that's what storytellers do, that you chronicle the times that you're in for future generations, but also as a way and a mirror to reflect to people within the community at large. And that is part of the journey of a storyteller and of an artist, I think. So that's what I feel, certainly what I've given my life to. So
Absolutely.
I feel that's what I was here
entertaining
to do.
people and making them happy.
Yeah, well, or making them think.
Or making them sad in this, maybe in this case. Where would you rank Scar in the list of great movie villains?
Number one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's the greatest movie villain.
Are you just saying that because you played him?
No.
But then because you played him, would you say you were less emotional at the most pivotal and emotional scene? I don't know if it's even a spoiler these days because we've all seen the original, but there are kids out there who haven't seen this one.
Sure, there are people who haven't seen it, yeah.
There are bound to be, but I cried again during this version of it.
Sure.
Does it make you less emotional though, because you're the villain? Did you kind of remove yourself from it?
Yeah, I think there's a certain aspect that you kind of are able to, because I spent so much time sort of getting into the psychology of Scar, that not that I, justify, but I definitely felt like, I can see why he's operating in the way that he is and why he's doing these terrible, terrible things, But obviously you feel all of that's sorrow for Simba, for everybody else, But and it's still a kind of really emotional beat of the story. But yeah, no, I definitely think that playing a part means it sort of, you kind of can have a bit of removal from some of the nastier aspects.
Whereas I sobbed my eyes out yet again. Took me back to being 9 years old, all over again. But it was wonderful. So good job.
Thank
I
you.
hope everyone loves it when it comes out.
The stuff in the school at home.